You know they got that same name, but different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. They got that same name, different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. Keisha and Keshia, knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. Keisha, you don't got it, you can get some if you heard them. Keisha and Keshia, knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. Keisha, you don't got it, you can get some if you heard them. We gon' laugh, have a good time. Just sit back and elevate your mind.
What's up? Welcome back to episode number 11. Keisha.
Whoa, episode number 11.
You want to jump right on into the recap?
We might as well.
Because, girl, we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do. Come on, girl. What are we talking about tonight?
You started.
Okay, well, giving up this phone. You know that Simon Cowell gave up his phone for 10 months.
Recap.
And I told you how when I leave the house, I don't, if I forget my phone, I don't come back for it. So we're saying, how about extending that out to the kids? Like, they are so addicted to these cell phones. Like, how can we get them to, like, willingly give it up? Maybe if it's for dinner.
Or on a car ride.
Yeah.
Just small increments, just to give them a break. Because the constant, I think, being on the phones constantly.
Right.
Just break it up and shut it down at a certain time at night and don't pick it back up until a certain time during the day.
So I figured let's challenge our listeners. Challenge you, because I'm telling you, the kids are getting younger and younger. We had kids that are 5-year-olds with phones.
Yeah.
So let's challenge our, what is going on with me today? Like, I can't talk. Let's challenge our listeners, and we're saying, try to take the phone away from your kid for an hour a day, willingly. Like, have them give it up. But you know you have to replace it with talking to them, spending time with them.
What happened to board games and cards and dominoes, stuff we know how to do.
Yes,
Play jacks or something. All right, this criminalizing.
Now, before you finish that, my kids love that. Like, Clifford and DJ, when they were younger, baby, like, they loved, even now, when DJ comes home, we came on spring break with his friends, we played board games and stuff and play cards. He loves it. So, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't come from a playing cards family and dominoes. We do everything Pokino.
Okay, so now we're talking about criminalizing black men in our judicial system. And Jay-Z and Meek Mills are doing a 6-part docuseries on Netflix. Yeah.
Let's shout out Netflix again.
Yeah.
Monique, we ain't boycotting Netflix, okay? Sorry, chick. Go ahead.
Our judicial system just needs some just a total overhaul.
Yes.
Educational system needs overhaul, judicial system needs overhaul, and I'm glad they're doing this docuseries because it's just really crazy. I'm gonna tell you, I still think about that whole Khalif Broward thing. I mean, like, I just can't even imagine a kid getting caught up in something that they didn't do and having to spend 3 years in a situation where they're getting abused by the police officers.
Men.
They've been withheld from food. They've been abused by,
torture.
Yeah,
just torture.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other thing about our judicial system, nonviolent criminals are getting 20 years to life for non-violent things, and that doesn't make sense. That's out of whack. And it's people of black and brown skin,
Right.
That's actually getting a hard time.
So the NFL, keep kneeling, keep putting your fist up. Colin Kaepernick, did you hear about him? He's actually, who is that? He's about to get did we talk about that? Ava DuVernay? DuVernay, yeah. She's thinking about doing a little series on his high school years.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting. And I listened to him give a speech back in May about love. And what he was saying about love is talking about the injustice here in America and how we are not loved.
No.
And it's about love. It goes back to what happened at the royal wedding.
Yeah.
When the minister, got up and talked about love.
Yeah.
It's this whole thing of not loving each other. It's showing up in the racist things that are going on, showing up in the injustice things that are going on.
Well, I'll tell you this:
like,
you can't have anything if you don't have love. That's
you
just
can't,
bottom
you
line
can't
here. Like nothing. I don't care what it is you're doing. It has to start with love. And it says in there, the greatest of all is love. And so I think that if people somebody said that.
Love one another.
No, I was doing something. They were like, if you just for 1 second think about that. I mean, we stay so competitive, we stay so hateful, just all other kind of stuff going on. But if you just take a step back, like today I had to do that. I went to try out for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with one of my girlfriends. It was really for her, but I just kind of did it with her. And there was this guy who had, and I hate even saying this because it was just I see how competitive I am. Like, he was on crutches. And I'm like,
Keep going. In my head, it went somewhere, but you so competitive with a man on crutches. What are you doing?
because he was trying to get ahead.
You kicked the crutch from up under. We out. No, go ahead, read it.
I really feel so bad because it was just a thought that came in my head, and I had to like command it. I had to control that thought because I was like, "You knew you was on crutches. You don't get no special privileges because you're on crutches."
What
and that was just so wrong. Wasn't that right?
That's white Jesus.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I keep telling you, white Jesus wear his ugly head all the time.
Come on, man. All right, keep
Okay.
going. So what about number 45 talking about he wanna
Very seriously, y'all. Listen, this man ain't playing with y'all. He very seriously.
okay, let's get real serious. Get real serious.
Very seriously, he want to pardon
Muhammad Ali.
who? Cassius Clay.
Cassius Clay. And it's not even that. He wants to pardon him for something that he's already been pardoned from, basically.
The conviction was overturned.
Overturned, so what are you pardoning?
There's
I mean, like,
nothing
you
to
just
pardon.
got into this, and you sent me that thing, that picture with the guys from Life, with
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence and
Yeah, Ray and Clay.
Ray and Clay. He gonna pardon them too, I guess.
Yeah, he just pulling up all kind of black men to pardon. And Muhammad Ali, if he was alive, would tell him, "No, sir, don't pardon me." But standing up for what I believe in while you had bone spurs.
Oh, my Lord Jesus. All right. Well, Keisha and Keisha, of course, is at it again for episode number 11. If you just tuned it in, we appreciate all of our listeners. We appreciate all of the love we've been getting. I watch our numbers to see if, people are still responding to us. After our videos from last week, we got new listeners. Yay to the new listeners. I was really excited about that. And so I'm just excited.
I don't
just a
watch
good time.
the numbers.
I know
I'm
she
scared.
doesn't. Yeah, but I watch them, and they're good. So
They're good.
we must be talking about some good stuff. So let's talk about, for a second,
recap.
recapping on what turns you on.
Girl, people were calling me on the phone telling me stuff. I was like, you sure you want to tell me that's what turned you on?
Well,
I'm scared.
Well, hold on. First thing is, what's this first thing you got on this list for what turns you on?
Well, somebody told me what turns them on is clipping their toenails.
That ain't even funny. Like, that's just
It turns them on. It's not funny.
I mean, be like, baby,
Like,
go get them. You better go get them.
You got them clippers, baby.
Oh, and you know how when your toenails clip and you hear it? Come
It's
on.
turning them on, girl. You gotta listen.
That's
You gotta listen
crazy.
to your listeners.
I can't even do
But
it.
hey, that's why we talking to the people.
Hey,
I would never know
our
this.
producer, hashtag another podcaster, which we're gonna give a shout out to him and his wife. They do a podcast as well. But he was
You gotta
basically
tell them how to
saying,
listen to them.
okay, dang, you gotta jump on in there too with that.
Yeah, because you said our producers hashtag podcast. Tell them how to listen to the brother.
Okay, you listen to them the same way you listen to us. And
the
anyway,
same way.
okay, all right. So, under any rate, we're going to come back to that because I was going to do that at the end, if you don't mind. But he talked about how just taking charge. And so you were like, taking charge, what does that mean? And he was like, you just roll up on me and be like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
I want it.
And I was
Turn
like,
it
that's
over.
a hoe.
Oh, God, you take all the fun out of
That's
it.
not fun.
That is fun. And he even said, he's like, okay, he kind of agreed with the whole thing, but on the other side, he was like, listen, it don't necessarily just have to be that. If it's your wife and she is like,
That's true. But I guess for me,
Can you
did
imagine
say
coming
paying
home
bills.
and your wife is like, soon as you walk through the door, be like, what's up?
I think a lot of brothers.
And you'd had a hard
Only
day too.
imagine.
Look, you'd had a hard day. Okay,
no
I tried
pun
it. I tried
intended.
it. Okay, I tried it.
No pun intended.
All right, what else did they say about?
Loyalty. Hey, I guess some people got some trust issues.
Well,
I guess being faithful is a turn on.
okay.
Hey.
And what else? You got one more on there. What'd you
I
say?
ain't got no more paying bills. That's mine.
Oh Lord.
That's hot.
You know what? I had a
You pull out that
girlfriend
checkbook.
who said that she dated this older guy. Right.
It wasn't me. Hey, listen, it wasn't me.
But you know you like this older man. It was something I was going to add to our podcast, older man, too. I forgot what it was. Dang
I
it.
already know what it is.
What is it? I'll send you that thing. What was it? Do you remember what it was?
Yes,
What was
I got it. It was it's on Instagram. You sent me about the chick talking about she met the old man after 10 tequila shots.
Yeah.
Home. Yes.
And she's a little, she's like a soulful, she
Yes.
sings and she raps at the same time. And she was like,
Yes.
that old man turned her out, and I sent that to you.
Yeah.
But that was hilarious. So we're going to go back to our producer for a second. Him and his
Yes.
wife has a podcast called The Playground 95 with Wale and Nicole. So you guys are going to have to check that out. Same way you check ours out on, if you got an iPhone, you will go to podcast, and if you have Android, you'll go to Google Play Music. But okay,
Yeah,
so
that was funny, Keisha.
what you know, no good.
What you know, no good, girl.
I don't know. What
I know me. I'm
Okay,
good.
so talk about this. What were you saying about protecting our boys and girls?
Well, I was listening to, I'm kind of addicted to Jada now. Jada Red Table Watch, but she had an after show with Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
And they were talking about the way they were raised and how they're raising their kids. And one of the things that they were talking about is being protective of the boys, because you hear a lot about the girls being molested, but me and you both have boys, and it's like, what did you do to protect your boys from being molested? I was overbearing. I didn't let them go to no one's house.
Yeah. And I've been really sensitive about that. And one day I'll kind of open up on my story with that. But I was very overprotective with DJ. Super duper. And it was just one of those things where it'll be in my book. But it's real. When I think about my cousins, when I think about me, when I think about a lot of different people who've had to endure some form of that, like
for
you
the
do.
boys.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we discussed in one of our episodes, earlier episodes, was about how they tell you that the person is a monster, but that's not how they come. They come across as very friendly, very nice. Those are the people that are molesting our boys. And one thing that most of the parents say, they never would have guessed Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, because
But they
women do it too.
even younger than that, like teenage boys who are young molesters, and they're like
Yes.
babysitting younger cousins or whatever. Or I think John Gray talked about that in one of his episodes on how these boys just walked up to him and were showing themselves to him as trying to get them to do certain
Yes.
stuff or whatever. So yeah, I put it like this: you can't undo any of that.
Yeah.
So you have to be the responsible parent, and like you said, that sleepover stuff and all that, you can play and play and play, and then you come home.
Well, and then one of the things that my idol, Oprah Winfrey, she said this when all the stuff was going on with Michael Jackson. One of the things that she said about herself is how you protect yourself is you're not left alone with someone's kid.
Right.
And she was saying that's one of the things that she criticized about Michael Jackson.
That boy came out and said that he actually did those things to him.
I don't.
He did.
I ain't gonna go
And he went through it, and he says, with it being Michael Jackson and all of the perks and stuff he had, it was a bad choice. But so I mean,
I'm not gonna go there because the man did, and he killed himself on one and two. Going back to that,
but when you say defending yourself, but if the guy is saying he was the victim,
no, I'm saying
you've been such an advocate for that. So if he did say that happened to him,
I'm not speaking on it because the person who he said did it to him cannot say don't have a side because they're dead.
I know that, but I mean, Bill Cosby alive, it didn't matter.
Yeah, but Bill Cosby also said in his own deposition that he was drugging women. That came out of his mouth.
Okay, drugging women and molesting them.
No, drugging women and having sex with them and drugging them and they not knowing
He didn't
that
say he was having sex
Yes,
with them.
he did. Yes, he
was
did.
saying that were consensual. I'm talking about raped altogether.
But
like doing. He
you
did,
missed the point.
But he didn't say he raped anybody.
That's the point. He didn't think it was rape. It was rape. What he described was rape.
I just feel like anybody who
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he doesn't have a side because he's dead.
Right.
But when he was alive, he could have.
But I'm not talking about Michael Jackson. I'm talking about the kid. I'm talking about if he comes out later and says it, for whatever reason he didn't say it, that means that it didn't happen. It just means that based on that time, and it's such a power thing that it can be years for people to actually tell the truth about their story or feel comfortable enough saying this happened to me or whatever the case may be. So
What I'm saying is I'm not taking neither side, because at this point Michael Jackson is dead and cannot say what happened with what on his side, and this boy's telling
And
his side.
I hear you, but I'm just
that.
a little
But-
concerned because every time we have this discussion, you are 100% victims and don't really care about the people who did it.
Well, no. Let me be
Because
very
every time
clear.
I said this, you keep saying Michael Jackson. I'm not talking about Michael Jackson. I'm talking about this kid that then stepped up. This where he's grown
And
now.
I guess for me, the difference is that you got people who are admitting to it, like Bill Cosby in his deposition. So his side was he admitted that he did these things,
Right, and
but
I'm
he
still
didn't
not
think
talking about
anything
the
was wrong. No, I'm saying Bill Cosby gave his side,
I know.
and based on his side, we know that he raped these women.
But if he didn't, if he had never given his side,
but that's what I'm saying.
if he had never given his side,
It's
I
been
still
proven
am.
in a court of law.
If he had never said that, what I'm saying is these women had something to say, and I'm just I think sometimes the focus go on trying to disprove or what the person who did it or whatever, when just having some sympathy. Because I mean, in every case, it's extremely different. Even Oprah talks about her situation and coming out with it.
Well, and this is the point that I was originally making, was what Oprah said: don't be alone with someone's child. And that's
Sometimes
the
it's
thing.
the people in the house. It was-
No, I'm saying for Michael Jackson, the thing was the parents were dropping their kids off at Michael Jackson's house when he already had allegations against him, and that's another problem. It's like you want your child to get molested.
Well, how were you raised? Let's talk about how you were raised. 'Cause
Oh, okay. I was
can't say I
raised
won't,
with an iron fist, and my mom was the disciplinarian, and not my father. He's a pushover.
Well, my father died when I was 2, so I like my mom, and then she remarried my father-in-law.
Stepfather.
I mean, yeah, my stepfather, Doc. I love my father-in-law, by the way. It's about to be Father's Day, but she got married again, and my mom's parenting style, it changed. Like when we were really young, it was always very sensitive, and we did stuff together, and we didn't have a lot of money, but we had each other. And then once she got remarried and other things started happening, it kind of shifted a little bit. But we've always had family because I come from a pretty big family, so that's been the thing. I don't think.
What
I
about
didn't-
us being a stepchild? Because I wouldn't know.
What you talking about with being
But
having a
you
stepfather?
yeah, with you
It
being a
wasn't a good
stepchild.
situation. It wasn't.
No, I mean everybody have a different situation. That's why I was asking.
No, I'm saying for me it
Yeah.
wasn't. It was
Yeah.
not. And it took a lot, after I was able to go to college and just really let go a lot of stuff. And drugs and different things, was a part of that situation. And my mom is a person who, she loves hard and does all that. And she did the best. I mean, we didn't lack anything, but as far as like trying to have this nice little family and it wasn't that.
Well, and for me, I always say this, and people always give me flack about it, but I grew up poor, and they always say, "Poor? You were?" We were working class poor. We were poor. I mean, and then when I really saw people that didn't have, I realized that we were middle class poor.
Speaking of traditions and things that are going on, it looks like in the Amazon they're having some issues in having services, and so the current Pope.
Church services.
Okay, church services. Okay, they have a word for them, but of course, it's a church service.
Yes.
Long and short.
Mass.
Well, okay, mass, and it has to be done by a priest, and so they're having a shortage of priests, and they're actually entertaining the idea of a married man actually being a priest. But
It's not unheard of.
here's some stipulations now. Number one, he has to be an elder, somebody who they consider
An older married man.
yeah,
That's been married for
his
years.
character is really
Yeah.
proven, and he's an older married man where he has grown children, so like the whole idea can't really interfere with their whole idea of being celibate and their virtues of that frees priests to devote themselves to their calling, and they feel like family does it because in the Bible, in Romans they talk about that, and sometimes people just take it out of context. Which religion, we ain't about to go there, but the priestess probably might take a bold step with that, to try to provide this mass for these people in the Amazon, because this is just, think about it. If you live in the Amazon anyway, you want to live in Amazon and be celibate? Like, something got to give.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, God need all that? God, if God wanted you to be celibate, he would have provided y'all with a celibate priest.
not.
I'm
Okay.
just saying. I mean, we talk about God being the one, the master and the most powerful, and you tell me you can't find a celibate priest in the Amazon?
Like
Okay, like I said, man got their own religion.
Right.
Just don't do what y'all doing.
All right. So moving on,
Ooh,
in
sad,
the same
sad,
vein.
sad news.
But you know what? The one thing before we talk about Anthony Bourdain, you know, the whole idea of just suicide and death. We spoke on that last week, and I talked about my cousin in different situations. And they make it public because two very public figures have committed suicide in the same week. And people, you know, they were showing videos of him where he was saying that through all the stuff he was doing and all the money and all the fame, he was just unhappy. You know, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like mental health a lot of times does not get the respect from family and friends that it deserved. Like, if I had cancer, everybody coming over there, oh, da da da. If I went through chemo and you saw my hair falling out, all this kind of stuff, that's one thing. If, you know, I had surgery or, you know, just anything like that.
I said this today to one of my friends is, you know, I'm struggling with my weight. I'm struggling with my health because I have a chronic illness. And I was saying that most people are always like, but you're good, you're good. No, I know I'm pretty and all, but I really do have some issues with my health. And I said, but people can't see it. You know, I put on my makeup, I get dressed, but after and I get home and change, I'm in pain most of the time. My joints, my legs. You called me last night. I was screaming on the phone. Remember? I was. But those things that people don't see, and it's like, and you don't want people to see it. You know, when I come out, I'm gorgeous.
Okay, can we get back to
I'm just
the idea
the
of
mental health.
mental health? Is that mental health? I mean, like, how did we get
saying
here?
you cover it
What
up.
happened?
I'm saying we cover it up. We put on our face and we go outside and we cover up all the things that we're struggling with because we don't want people to see it or know about it. So that's what I'm saying. So I would dress up and go outside, but when I come home and take off my makeup and stuff, I'm in pain most of the time. So, and he's in pain, Anthony Bourdain.
Okay. So, listen, be in tune, especially with your children, because with all of this stuff that's going on with just a lot of the bullying, a lot of the discrimination, like if they start to get real distant, if they get real quiet and moody, if they start giving stuff away, if they get to the point where they get aggravated about everything or they get real calm, just
Don't
notice.
want to touch you. They don't want you to touch them.
Just notice different behaviors. And if they're not acting like they normally do and they're becoming more reclusive, then you need to, if you don't feel comfortable, get some help. You may even reach out to a family member that they may be close to and have them talk to them, or, you know, really get some professional help. Yeah, go to the hospital. So,
well, with Anthony Bourdain, I want to remember his life. He's one of the chefs that I've been following for years. He's always been totally different on his show. He's always not giving you the real gourmet. He went to the back alleys and he did this thing where one of his shows is no reservations.
Yeah.
So, and the other one was Parts Unknown, and I used to love watching his show.
And they said there were people that would talk to him that wouldn't talk to anybody else.
Yes.
He would go to places and people would be like, "Well, Anthony Bourdain," and they would like totally give them.
It was mothers, and I mean, I'm saying they were citizens. They weren't just chefs and celebrities.
Yeah.
But one of the things with him that I liked was he spoke out against Paula Deen, and I almost broke up with it. But he spoke out against her because she was doing all the butter and sugar stuff, and was diabetic the whole time and didn't tell anybody.
Right.
And he called her out on that.
Yeah.
And he was very outspoken, and he called out Harvey Weinstein. I mean, he's been very outspoken. So he was one of those big hearts, big spirits, which usually people like that carry a lot of burden.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm going to get off track for just a second. I was reading an interview with Tiffany Haddish that she had, and she talked about an encounter she had with Roseanne. And she said that, in the area where her friend lived, Roseanne also lived there, and she saw her outside. She tried to speak to her, and she kind of gave her this crazy face and wouldn't talk to her. And so a couple of days later, the friend, who's not black, came by, and she waved to her and said, "Hey." So Tiffany's like, "Well, maybe because, So she goes back another time within the same 2-week time frame, and she gives her the same reaction. And she was just like, what's the deal? So, yeah, it was kind of crazy. But anyway, all right, so number 45 is like pissing off even our allies. Like, come on, Canada.
Do he know what allies
They had to be
mean?
like, practice. And we talking about Canada. We talking about Canada. Trump. Come
He
on.
don't even know I don't think he know what allies mean. Or I'm very afraid that he does not respect democracy at all, because everything that he's saying that he loves and honors are dictators and communist countries, regimes. I mean,
And it's just like he was talking about the people in North Korea, working hard. Well, did you
they
realize?
ain't got no choice.
I was like, really? Okay, can we move on
No,
past
and
him?
they don't even have a free. They don't have a free press. These people are starving.
Yeah.
Some of these people are starving, and if they speak out against their government, they could be killed
Yeah.
or jailed. I
Yeah.
mean, what are you talking about? That's why we have a democracy, and you want us to not speak out against you,
it just
or you
don't-
could kill us. No, I don't think so. 45.
As he's talking about, he was watching how they were blowing up missiles by the beach, and he was like, "Oh my God, y'all can stop blowing the missiles up and let's build some some hotels and the real estate." I'm like, come on,
Shut
man.
up! This man's so damn stupid. I'm about to spit.
Okay, all right. So anyway, Kamaya Mobley, she was the case where her kidnapper actually just got 18 years. For each year she had kidnapped her, she got 18 years in jail. And her family is kind of torn because this woman, she grew up thinking that's her mom. So they at first didn't want her to talk to her. I remember her going on Iyanla Fix My Life and trying to figure out how she's going to deal with all this, because she's got all these different moving pieces. Like, she's got her mom who's separate from her dad, who now separate from the woman who, raised her. And I just felt kind of bad for her, because it's one of those things where you can't make this girl stop loving somebody who she's known all of her life just because you found out. But then at the same time, as the parents, this woman took your child, and so you want your baby back and be able to have this relationship. And how do you do all this? So this woman made a horrible decision that ruined 4 people's lives.
And then on top of all of that, she's a young girl. She's 18, and she's suffering from Stockholm syndrome. And her abductor treated her well. She treated her well, and she loved her, and we get that. But what does the end justifies the mean? She stole you from the hospital, from your other loving parents that loved you. They wanted you. They didn't give you up for adoption. So, and I think I think this story's in the news, but it's gonna take years to heal what happened to this family and this girl.
All right, so the judge rules on AT&T can acquire Time Warner. So now they're about to become one.
Yes, in a
So-
blunt statement after the ruling was issued, Time Warner pointed the finger at President Trump, number 45, implying that he influenced the Department of Justice decision to bring the case. Time Warner said the government's case was baseless, political in its motivation, and should have never been brought. Looking back at the campaign in 2016, Trump said as a candidate that he pledged that his administration would block the. So do you think he brought this case against AT&T?
Do you think he bought the case? What
No,
you mean?
made the Department of Justice go after. They brought the case to court, the Department of Justice.
Ultimately, the Department of Justice had to make the decision.
No, they saying that it was initiated by Trump, because that's what he said in his when he was running, that he's
Yeah, but he
gonna
wasn't
block
the
this bill.
president yet when this happened. What are you saying?
That's what I'm saying.
What?
He said he's gonna go if he becomes president, he's gonna block this deal.
Right, but I said the ultimate decision to do it was not Trump. It was the government, right? What are you looking like that for? I don't understand what you're asking me. Well, what you're saying?
They're saying that the reason DOJ came after them is because Trump told them, the DOJ, to come after him. The ultimate decision, what they're saying is it wasn't DOJ. They're saying the only reason DOJ came after them is because the president insisted upon it.
Right, but he wasn't a president then, was he?
No, yes, this just happened.
No, but before, if this was in October of 2016?
No, that's when he said if he become president, he's going to block this deal. He blocked the deal in 2017. He was president.
I don't know. What? So what?
You ain't understand that.
No, I don't. What are we talking about? Because I don't get it.
Okay,
Like,
let me tell you what it is.
no, I heard all of that.
No,
so
no,
don't
I'm saying
repeat any of that.
No, not
okay,
that.
All right.
It's AT&T is getting ready to acquire Time Warner. That means it's a major acquisition. I'm not doing anything I just said before. It's a major acquisition. That means they're going to be even bigger than it was before.
You talking to me like I'm stupid? Like
No, you're looking around. I'm
well,
like,
because I get all of that. I'm still trying to wonder, why are we having this discussion? I want to know your point on this. I mean, are you just reporting some news or something that happened, or do you have a point? What?
I think this is a big deal because, and I'm gonna tell you why I think it's a big deal. It's because the administration always talking about they be winning. This is a loss for the administration.
Okay,
they
well,
didn't win this case.
Just say that at first.
That was I didn't have to say it because that's what it's saying.
I know,
that
but
Trump,
why you couldn't just say this at the very beginning?
Let me clear this up for you.
Okay.
When I tell you that Trump said he's gonna block this deal, guess what? He didn't block it. The deal happened.
All right. Well then, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, that the deal didn't happen. Trump, sorry for your loss. Dennis Rodman. He's another one that's crying on CNN.
Well, is there a reason we talking about this one?
No, because it's next. You put this here. I didn't.
No, I know that. Okay. I'm just saying, every time we put something, it's a reason. You was like, why we talking about this?
I didn't understand that, and that's okay. You cleared it up and said Trump lost. All right, move on. What are we doing with Dennis Rodman? He crying?
Dennis Rodman said he's the reason that the U.S. is speaking with North Korea, and he's the reason that they have made some type of peace treaty for some reason. Dennis Rodman, with his "Make America Great Again," I just want to let y'all know this Negro was crying real hard. I was like, did he cry for Haiti? Did y'all see him cry for Haiti? Did you see him cry for the injustice that happened in America every day?
And the other part I didn't like
this fool. Go ahead.
He went back and he was like, and I bought this to President Barack Obama. He laughed in my face and yada yada yada, and I'm like, come on, right? I mean, we still, it's really not even a win. Okay, granted, I will give Trump the fact that this meeting happened and nobody has been able to do that. But
I forgot about that because I was sitting there laughing because I was saying, he said, I brought this to Barack Obama. If Barack Obama had met with you, he would have lost all credibility. The same way Trump has lost all credibility. Why would he meet with you for what? Mm-hmm. For what? What are you going to bring to the table? That Kim Jong-un likes a basketball player? Because that's the only reason he invited you to North Korea. Because he is a super fan.
Uh-huh.
And then the part that pissed me off with Dennis Rodman, dumb ass, on TV is he said he went and did not understand the political reasons why people didn't touch Kim Jong-un. He didn't understand that this man is a dictator and that his people are suffering. He didn't understand that there's no freedom of press. He didn't understand none of that. But you went over there because this man's a super figure. And I get that people want to say he's smart. He's not smart because if somebody invites you somewhere, you need to know where you're going and why you're going. Do everybody understand that?
Yeah.
And especially to North Korea. Just out of the blue, I don't know nothing about North Korea. Let me Google North Korea.
I mean, listen, that man has the freedom and the right to go and build relationships with whoever he wants and say whatever he feels like is true. But, okay, I'm not done.
Go ahead.
You want to wait before you get to saying all that stuff? So when Dennis Rodman wants to make himself relevant by crying on TV and doing the stuff that he's doing and talk about his relationship with Kim Jong-un,
whose name he couldn't pronounce.
I get it, but there are two individuals. Two individuals that apparently got a little bromance going on, and and one thing even my brother-in-law said, he was like, the fact that they can come to the table and have any conversation, that hadn't happened. So it's better to come to the table and have a conversation. Let me see what you about. And then start making some decisions, and if that's going to help the people in North Korea, we don't know or not, because before that hadn't even happened. So it's the same thing. If I have an art with somebody, it says, let's come and talk about it.
I'm going to tell you something my grandma said, and I'm going to quote something from the country. Leave crazy people where they at. Kim Jong-un has proven himself to be crazy. He's just as power-driven as Trump. These people are, the only reason anybody met with Kim Jong-un, it had to be a Trump. Because anybody with sense would not meet with Kim Jong-un.
Well, you know what? And the only reason why I disagree with that is because if it at any point will be able to help some of them people in North Korea, let it happen.
Well, and the part
if I was in North Korea and I was struggling like that, and if he went over there and got a little happy and he came back and changed a few things where you're not rationing my food or whatever he's doing, I mean, like in his effort, grandiose, narcissistic effort to think that he's doing something, he comes back with a better attitude and some things change for me and my people. If I was North Korean, I would want to see that happen.
Well,
to leave me alone and I'm constantly doing that when anything could happen. You don't know what could.
Well, the part that gets me is you saying if. Yeah. This is the part that's disturbing.
Me. Hope.
No, I get the hope, but the part that's disturbing is that the opposite could happen. I mean, so there's no win here because you don't know with an irrational person what they would do and what would set them off. I mean, we don't know. This man is irrational. And we just talked about mental illness. I can't fight mental illness. I'm not equipped for it. And neither is Donald Trump. Next subject, John Schneider. You didn't want to talk about him?
Go ahead, because you be tripping.
I'm tripping. This is the most ignorant mess because Norfolk, well, if something might happen,
really?
this like, I mean, I'm
You know
like,
what,
is this
Keisha?
some
If you were
Jim Crow
if you were
stuff?
somebody exactly, if you were someone in North Korea enduring the stuff that they had to do, and you could hold out any hope that America could help change anything or whatever, I would want to give that. Now, granted, we might not be able to change nothing this man doing, but if there's a possibility, let him meet. If there's a possibility, let him try to do something. I could give two rats booties about Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump. Let's be very honest and be clear about that. But I do care about the fact that these people over there are really suffering.
Well, and I think you're speaking on behalf, like, I don't care. What I'm trying to say is this man could go back and do the opposite of what you're hoping to happen because he is a mental ill person.
You was going to talk from the country and what your grandmama said to leave people alone.
No, crazy people. I'm saying it's hard to negotiate with a person who's unstable. This is the thing. You're talking like he's stable. You're talking like Trump's stable. And that's where I'm at odds. Neither one of these two people that met are stable human beings.
Okay.
They're not stable. If you listen to what he's done to his people, he's not stable. You can't come to an agreement with someone who's not stable.
All right. Okay. So John Schneider is somebody who on the old Dukes of Hazzard or the new one?
Old Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, there's a new one.
I'm saying you don't know he from the old Dukes of Hazzard. Well, I'm from the country. We used to watch the Dukes of Hazzard. We were talking about alimony a few episodes ago, and he's got to serve 3 days because he is behind on his alimony payments. White
3
man,
whole days?
Yeah, I know, white man. See, white privilege.
I'm moving past 3 whole days.
No, I said white privilege.
Oh, okay.
I'm bringing this up because white privilege, your brother be locked up forever.
All right, there's a new series to satisfy your Being Mary Jane. I love Being Mary Jane. I hate that they canceled that. And now OWN has kind of taken those same producers and created a show called Love Is. And I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, they used to have these cute little Love Is, and it would say Love Is, and then it'll have something else. And it was like this Adam and Eve looking character, male and female. And I would cut them out, and they were all over my wall, all in my books, everything. And I was just such a hopeless romantic with the Love Is. I loved it.
I'm trying not to squint up my face.
Michelle Weaver and Will Catlett, I think his last name, it's based in the 90s in Los Angeles, and it's loosely based off of the producers, Mara and her husband. And they talk about how some of the things that came to life in their relationship. And it's like, it's going to be kind of cute, and it's going to deal with relationships and dating and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of got to give you that whole Being Mary Jane fix without Mary Jane being alone.
And that black love. We get to see some black love.
Yeah.
All right, we like black love.
They're little cute little selves.
We celebrate black love around here.
All right, what do you think about Jay and Bay picture on social media? Oh my goodness. Girl.
You go first, because I got something big.
Okay, go ahead. Say your big thing.
Every time I see a picture like this, you know what goes in my head? It just, who took this damn picture?
Oh.
No.
It could have been on
I'm asking. Who took it?
They could have set the camera. I mean, they got, you know how much money they got.
And they got nannies, and they got other people in the room. And I'm like, are you naked with other people in the room? I'm just asking.
Okay, but the whole point is, it's on social media, so everybody else is seeing it, so the nanny ain't seeing nothing everybody else ain't seeing.
I know, I'm just saying who took that. But on social media, there's a disconnect because I can't.
You still seeing the same image?
I know you still seeing the same thing, but I'm saying the person is in the room with you. It's not the internet. So I'm like, who took this picture? Who would you have in your room where your booty cheeks is out and you ain't got no shirt?
Okay, so I really want to hear what our viewers have to say about this. I know they've been talking about it on social media, but I'm going, you know, they talking about they chilling on a Sunday, blah 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 blah, and they got like all this like flowery and all this.
You like love. You just said you like love. What's up with that?
I mean, to
you
me,
said love, yes. Ooh, I like all that love stuff. That's they love stuff.
No.
See, oh my God, you're a contradiction in yourself.
I am not.
Within a whole second.
No, I'm not.
You went from love is, I like to put my love stuff up.
Right.
And
to
then
be
they
romantic and a hopeless romantic body, putting your naked body on social media to me is not love. I'm sorry.
But that's theirs.
I mean, because I don't share very well, so I don't want anybody seeing when I got on one. Because my granddad used to always tell me, since you want to talk about grandmoms and granddaddies, he say, ain't nobody gonna steal nothing they don't see. So he used to make us close the blinds, and we couldn't let when Jehovah Witness and people come by. So if he bought a new TV, he'd bring it on in the middle of the night and put it. I mean, like he was really serious. And it was true. That was his whole theory. Like people ain't gonna come steal nothing they don't know in there.
Well, let me tell you about my grandma. When you talk about stealing, my grandma had a gun and it was loaded, and she shot a few people in Pritchard, Alabama. So she ain't had to worry. She'll let you see. Come on if you wanna.
Well, like with Jay and Bay, the stuff sometimes.
I mean, this is the thing. People love to hear about them. They want to know so much about their personal lives.
Marlon Wayans replace his picture with Jay's face?
Oh no, I need to replace my picture with Beyonce.
Oh Lord, okay.
Put it right on her booty.
What are you talking?
I said make that my face.
Come on,
where her booty was.
Come on. What is wrong with you?
Why not? We just doing stuff.
And you're right, they just doing stuff.
I mean, once you put it out there, people can do what they want to with the picture.
Please explain to me why on her butt?
I'm just picking a spot.
You just picking
I didn't
a spot?
want her naked booty to show.
Oh, so you want your
I want my face
to be where her booty is? Oh,
wait, I'm over here, what's up, Jay?
No, ain't nobody messing with you. Okay. The Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History, and shout out to my girl Kiera. She lives in the Maryland area, and I am gonna come back and see her so I can spend a couple of days and give me some tickets to go see this. But Oprah Winfrey, girl,
shout out one more friend. Go ahead.
I can shout out whoever I want to shout out.
Yes, you can.
Is a celebration of Oprah Winfrey's legacy. And she was like, Gail did a little thing on TV with it as her best friend, and she says, you know what, to be able to preview your history while you're still alive. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people do these things once you're dead, right?
Yeah.
But to be able to do this while you're alive, she got really emotional because there were people who had, even know that they had letters of folks who said that she had inspired them and stuff. So it was really good. 4,300 square feet.
Hey, Oprah got a lot of life. Honey, she's done a lot.
Yeah.
She's done a lot.
What about Melanie Hobson? She's becoming the vice chairman of Starbucks.
Oh my God, I'm a super fan. I used to watch her all the time.
Melanie gets you right about your finances though.
I used to watch her all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Starbucks need her.
Okay.
That's good for Starbucks. I look at her now and I remember that she married George Lucas. Mm-hmm. That was one of my things. I was like, she got married. I follow her personal life.
Oh, okay. And she's such a cute little something
yes.
too. Okay, so congratulations, girlfriend, on your man, I don't have my sound machine with my applause. I left it at the house. Okay. All right, locally, we have a case that was settled in Okaloosa County where we live.
Racist.
With the family whose boys were being discriminated against by the students and the teachers. And then, the whole news thing we were talking about with Jenna last year, it happened here, in addition to the teachers saying stuff and the kids saying stuff. And this family just got awarded $500,000 in a settlement.
Well, and one of the things is they're a military family. Racist people always, I'm a patriot and I care about this country. This man and this family is a military family, and they did all this racist stuff to him. And I'm like, you're a contradiction. Mm-hmm. Either you love the country or you love your whiteness.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm kind of, and to get the settlement, $500,000, I get it. But more important, their 10 and their 15-year-old kid had to endure that.
Yeah,
and not only and shame on the teachers. Shame on the teachers.
But it's not even the teachers, it's the community.
Well, the teachers were openly discriminating against them.
I'm saying shame on the teachers, but not only the teachers, but the community. Mm-hmm. Because that community that we're talking about in our county is one that is racist. Mm-hmm. It's very racist, and we're in Northwest Florida.
Yeah.
We're in Northwest Florida, which is better known as Alabama.
Lower Alabama.
Lower Alabama. It's just like being in Bama, baby.
All right, so to be
or not to be, that is the question.
That is the question. Which side you on?
Girl, on both
Because
sides.
you all booed up. Hey, what's the little song?
I am not.
Booed up.
Baby,
Booed up. Booed up.
Booed up the don't.
Hey, booed do that?
Let's talk about sex. Oh, y'all, do women have sex with men just their partner so they won't cheat on them?
What?
You think that's gonna stop him? A cheating man gonna cheat?
Okay, so let's look at this from a different
Are you
perspective.
pressured?
In your 20s, everything was about how good you look, how to keep your man, you popping. By the time you get to your 40s, you're like, look, you either want to be here or you not. And then by the time you get to your mid 40s, it's like, I mean, ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do to stop you from doing whatever you're doing. So I need to make some choices for myself.
Well, and I tell men this all the time. Every time I say this, their eyes buck. Why you cheating? The woman alone. So woman ain't alone. You leaving the door wide open.
Is this thing on? And that's the thing. They get so grandiose about it. Yeah, they get all Trump about it.
It's like I'm wide open. While you trying to sneak, I'm wide open to do what I want to do. And women can do stuff way better than men.
We can we?
Our producer over there, he doing the look. But every time I say that to men, they always look crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, while you're cheating, you do realize that your woman is wide open.
Yeah.
For a brother to be like, hey girl, you look good.
Babe, because listen, dudes usually cheat because it's there, it presents itself, or they looking at it. Women usually because they're scorned. So let somebody roll up on them and they in their feelings, baby.
Or because they're neglected. Because not scorned. You said scorned, I said neglected. Because in other words,
you're not feeling upset about being neglected?
No, I'm not saying about feelings. I'm saying that he's not paying you any attention.
Right.
Like,
and that's not bothering you?
No, I'm saying that
I mean,
why
okay
women cheat. It's not about being scornful.
But I'm just asking, are you okay?
No. I don't know why. It's neglecting and scorn are two different things.
Okay.
They're not the same.
I get it.
No,
I get it.
they're not the same.
Okay, so the same attitude that you would have if you're neglected or if you're scorned.
You would
cheat. Right, so you playing with words. All right.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that the end result is the same.
Jesus. Mary Joseph. See, do y'all see the Twilight Zone I find myself in a lot of times? Clearly you don't. All right, is great sex an important part of your relationship? You put that on here. Girl, see, that's why. The Twilight Zone. Okay.
No, because let me tell you something.
No, because why? What are you saying? Okay, go ahead and say it, because clearly.
You cut me off. What are you talking
All right, go ahead.
No, because I learned a long time ago how to have great sex by myself.
Okay.
So it ain't a requirement in my relationship. I know how to get where I need to go.
But just because you can do it don't mean you need to be doing it.
No, I said said isn't an important part.
Yeah.
And I said no.
If you're in a relationship, that's two people, right? That's not two people in your toys, right? So but you're saying you learned how to have great sex by yourself. Isn't that what you just said?
I learned how to get that by myself.
Okay.
Yes. And so it's not important.
All right.
My opinion is not important. Your opinion it is.
You know why I feel like it's important? It's beyond the physical act of it. It's the intimacy that happens. And so I think when guys actually get to the point where they want to, and these are just some of my guy friends who I've talked to, where they are ready to get married. They could have been dating girls and wonderful women the whole time. And the woman want to get married, and they don't do it. And then as soon as they get to that point where they're ready to do this and to commit, some girl just happened to come along and she's the one. And so for them, that intimacy starts where they want that relationship. They want to be close to somebody. And so that's why great sex is important, because it shares, that's my opinion. And see, you be shaking. And then when I do that too, you ready to get crazy.
No.
Like you need to chill for a second.
I'm chilling.
So intimacy is very important. It's not just about can I get one off. It really does play a big part in how you get one off. Period, in my opinion. So great sex with your partner, with somebody who you're intimate with, is well beyond just getting one off.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but the question was, is it important?
Yeah, it's very important.
Not for me.
Okay. Celebrating Father's Day.
We got to go back.
To what?
Dear future daughter-in-law.
Oh. Okay, where we going back to?
You got to say what segment we going to.
Oh, okay. Save the drama for your mama. Can you have a drama-free relationship? When you think of drama, I think that you can have a relationship where you're going to have issues with you and your person. So if that's drama, okay. But I think sometimes with social media and how they see other people do drama, they take it to a whole nother level. Because I've seen situations where young girls who, that I teach at school or whatever, it's like it's a whole nother thing because they see Kim Kardashian doing something, or they see Cardi B do something, or whatever, and they take and I mean create the craziest drama instead of just dealing with a situation because it's something that comes up. So I think sometimes you need to kind of taper that down and know when you got a good thing and when you need to kind of not be so drama filled.
Well, and some people get their rocks off of drama. They don't know how not to have drama. Everything they do is drama filled. And that's one of the things for me that I learned a long time ago is I don't like the drama. So I definitely stay away from the
What? I'm listening to you. See, I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and I'm like, I did not do anything. You make no crazy move.
I mean, honestly,
Wait, but if you saying that, I mean, are you delivered from it? From not liking drama?
I'm delivered.
Okay.
I like mess. I'm still wilding a little bit of mess.
Wait a minute. So what's the difference between drama and mess?
A big difference. Drama is you want everybody to see it. Mess, you can kind of hold mess to a selective few.
Wait a minute. So mess is sneaky?
Nah.
What you mean?
I said mess is, you can keep it between people. Drama, they want a big audience. I said mess could be a little smaller audience. Just between me and you, I could be messy with you. Just me and you. But drama, I need to be on the internet so everybody know that we doing this.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's bringing everybody into
So the difference
your
between mess and drama is the audience.
It's the size.
It's the size of the audience.
Yeah. It's
well,
not
I didn't
particularly
learn
the
something
subject.
around here
It's
today.
not particularly the subject, it's the size.
Size of the audience.
The size of the audience.
Okay, so if it's a small audience, it's mess.
Messy.
And if, and if it's a big audience,
It's drama.
straight drama. All right, listen, when you guys get to this party and you
I made
hear
that
it,
up, by the way.
please,
I made that up.
you
Hey,
made that up.
Trademark that.
Oh, Jesus.
Trademark that. Hey, Country Keshia.
Okay,
Make
all right.
that up.
Well, we are going to celebrate Father's Day. There's quite a few men in my life that I really want to say a shout out to. My brother, you know, he's been through a lot of difficulties in his life, and I've just seen him in these past 10 to 15 years just really get it together with trying to parent and be a father. And so, happy Father's Day, bruh. My husband, of course, DJ is an amazing kid, and so happy Father's to my husband. Happy Father's Day to my brother-in-law. Both of them, and to all of the men that I know that I see stepping up for their kids. I know quite a few guys, so I just really am impressed with the fact that with all of the stuff that you're going with, we talking about deadbeat dads, I know a lot of them that are not. And then to my father-in-law, who called me baby girl all the time. Happy Father's Day. I lost my father when I was very young, and like I said, I really didn't have a relationship with my stepfather, and so I thank all of those dads. Danny, her dad, he's now passed on, and I want to say he was an amazing dad, and I loved him, and he just showed me love like a daughter. And then Dana lost her dad, and it's just something, when I think about some of the dads I hear who are just really great and are still being great, I know they get a bad rap, and Mother's Day always turns into this big thing where everybody's like, oh, mama, mama, mama. But sometimes you got to celebrate those dads. And then your dad, who is hilarious.
Oh, I celebrate my dad. He already been talking about what he get. What I do for my father every year is and that thing about tradition.
Well, you know,
I buy my dad a T-shirt every year. It was something like the greatest pop, or I get all the little novelty stuff, and I tell you, every year I get him a new one. His eyes get big. He is so happy, and I'm so happy, and it's like so ridiculous.
Cool.
But it cost me $5
Right,
to get that from him.
Oh.
But I have some great dads in my life. I want to say Happy Father's Day, but my uncles, I get calls all the time from my uncles on Father's Day, and they tell me Happy Father's Day, being a single mom, and they recognize me, and I want to shout out my uncles for doing that, because they like, you doing this, girl. You got 3 boys.
and I won't even take anything away from that. I don't know.
I know women that don't, but because they know my story, they know that I'm doing, I'm filling the role of both parents, and they shout at my uncle. I get a text and he'll be like, Happy Father's Day. I'm like, what? Thank you. So last year at Father's Day, guess what I did? I got me a massage. I buy me something every year at Father's Day. I treat myself. Happy Father's Day to me. That's what I want to say. Country Keshia, Happy Father's Day. What's up? Go ahead, new subject.
Okay, finance. Talk about it. You got about a minute. Make it happen.
Okay, make a plan for your money. You know, we do all this work. Let's make our money work for us. We talked about budgeting. We talked about how you spend. We talked about savings. And now we're saying get it together. Make a plan. Stop wasting your money and your time. And please, it's okay to tell people no when they ask to borrow money, because that's one of the hard ones for black people. You never want to say no. And my brother told me just no explanation. You don't have to explain to people why you don't want to give them your money.
Well, you know, I like some
Stop
things
it.
you said. When you think about your time and you think about your money, you know, I have to
Be
agree with
very
some of that.
protective
Yeah.
of both.
Well, you know what? But just being aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can lose yourself in doing stuff for other people, and people be like, "Dang, my whole day gone." You know?
My family is neglected, because that's one of the things that I wanted to be very careful about, because I was giving a lot of volunteering hours to doing other stuff for other people, and then your kids are neglected.
Right, and so the same
you
thing with
have
your
to-
finances,
yeah.
where you know, because I remember a time, you know, where there are people who in my life who are like, you know, want to borrow from you, but when you see them, they walking around chilling and stress free, and you like, well, hold up, you know what I'm saying?
don't
Did you
talk
spend
about
all
me.
your money because you could borrow? Okay, anyway,
So we talking about BC.
on the educational side, I just want to say, listen to your kids. Take a second, hush your mouth, and just listen. When they're talking, even if it's a moment of silence and it might get uncomfortable, still just listen. Just give them a time. Just look them in their face and, you know, make them feel uncomfortable. Like, grab their hands if you have to, or have them sit in front of you or whatever, and just say, hey, what's going on with you? And if they want to say nothing, just give them, even if it's just 5 minutes, and just listen to them.
Make them a priority. Hey, you are important. What they say, you are important.
All right, so we don't have anything this week for Ain't Nobody Got Time for That, but Keisha decided she wanted to talk about our adventures that we have
a
together.
lot.
And so she was bringing up one that we had during the time when Girl Trip came out.
You know what? That was a birthday present from you to me. You remember you bought my
Yes.
ticket, and I was so excited. Yeah, I like free stuff.
Okay.
And so we went. We thought we was going to the Ovation Theater.
Right.
And,
the Ovation Theater is?
It's a restaurant, you know.
A dinner theater.
Yeah, dinner theater. And so we thought we were going there, and it was closed.
Yeah, well, not the
Ovation.
theater.
The
No,
Ovation Theater.
No, we were at the theater, but they didn't have the movie. They wasn't playing that movie in that part of the theater.
The dinner
Yes,
theater.
the dinner
Okay,
theater.
I thought it was closed. I thought they said the kitchen was closed.
No, but because you know, we're in the seats and everything is different. And there it's like, you know.
I've been in there.
Okay, so we were like, oh my God, you know, what are we gonna do? Because we came to have dinner and sit back and watch the movie. So.
And here's where the adventure begins.
Oh God, we came up with an alternative plan.
I just want to know, how did we get all those boxes of Mexican food, that bottle of liquor,
went down
and
the-
that cranberry juice into that theater?
We did down to Cantina Laredo and came back with a whole smorgasbord. So we sitting up there in the dark, passing food back and forth, and you can smell the food. We had a great time watching
How
the
did
movie.
we
We
get
bust the
in
gut
there?
and laughed, and you know, had a few
You was
cocktails
mixing
and hung
drinks.
out. Yeah, it was. I was the bartender. I mean, it was. We had a great time. So.
And it was fun. I mean, this is the thing about us. We don't let stuff stop us.
No.
So what?
Now
They was
y'all
closed.
realize how much she just gets on my last.
And we were sitting so far apart, and it was so many girlfriends
Oh my
between
God.
us. And I was like, what you had? Guacamole.
I don't
and
know
chips?
what I
was
had,
like,
but you know she got to be always saying something. I'd be like, shut up. But anyway, we love y'all. We thank y'all for listening from the
Outhouse.
to the penthouse.
Yeah.
We're out.
Like that, when we start arguing, you start feeling uncomfortable.
Why they like both of y'all crazy?
Two different point of views with the same name. What their name is? Keisha.